Yes. I got it. I'm in. Thank you.
I can make sure. It's locked. Right.
Was that you?
You got the job.
Social secretary.
It sounds like 7-Eleven. Anytime anybody's coming. It is, yeah.
How you doing?
You suddenly got a.
Here's this dude right here.
I have no idea.
All right, call the organization meeting of the board to order at 5:30. Do I hear a motion to come out of closed session?
So moved.
All right, Mr. Pagano moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, and we'll go to a roll call vote.
Mr. Reimer,
Aye.
Mr. Vaughn,
Yes.
Mr. Pagano,
Aye.
Ms. Cooper, aye. Ms. Dombrowski. Aye.
All right. So, Mr. Vaughn, could you please read the certification of closed session?
Whereas the New Kent County School Board has convened a closed session meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas Section 2.2-3711 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the New Kent County School Board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore, be it resolved that the New Kent County School Board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirement by Virginia law were discussed in closed meeting to which this certification resolution applies, and only such business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the New Kent County School Board.
All right, thank you, Mr. Vaughn.
We approve the certification of closed session.
Do I hear a motion to approve the certification of closed session?
Yes, I
Mr. Reimer makes the motion,
Second.
second by Mr. Pagano, and we will vote.
Mr. Reimer,
Aye.
Mr. Vaughn,
Yes.
Mr. Pagano,
Aye.
Ms. Cunha, aye. Ms. Dombrowski. Aye.
All right, the certification of closed session is now approved. So call the meeting to order and we'll stand for the pledge of allegiance. I will lead today and then there'll be students going forward. So I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you guys again for coming. Happy New Year. If you're wondering why I have the gavel, it's because we have to reorganize, and I will gladly give it up in just a second. So I hold on to the gavel until we elect a chair, and then we move from there. So, board members, it is time for our reorganization. So it is letter A, the election of chair and vice chair. So I'm going to take nominations for chair. Do I hear a motion to nominate a chair?
I move to nominate Greg Reimer as chair of the New Kent County School Board.
All right, we have a motion from Mr. Reimer. Do I hear any other motions, any other nominations? Hearing none, is there a second for Mr. Reimer?
I second.
Okay, we have a second by Mr. Vaughn. Ms. Davis?
Mr. Reimer,
Aye.
Mr. Vaughn,
Yes.
Mr. Pagano,
Aye.
Ms. Cunha, aye. Ms. Dombrowski. Aye.
All right, so we now have Chair Mr. Reimer. Mr. Reimer, I'm going to pass this gavel down to you, and you can take us through the vice chair.
Do I hear nominees for vice chair?
I move to nominate Ron Vaught as vice chair of the New Kent County School Board.
For a second?
Second.
Any other nominations? No other nominations? Would you please poll the board?
Mr. Reimer,
Aye.
Mr. Vaught,
Aye.
Ms. Pagano,
Miss-
Mr. Pagano.
Mr.
sorry.
Aye.
Ms. Cunha. Aye. And Ms. Dombrowski. Aye.
Thank you, Vaughn. The next item on the agenda is the appointment of clerk and deputy clerk. Do I hear a motion to reappoint Joanna Davis as clerk and Dr. Brian Nichols as deputy clerk of the New Kent School Board?
So moved on both counts.
Is there a second?
Second?
Elena, please poll the board.
Mr. Reimer,
Aye.
Mr. Vaught,
Yes.
Mr. Pagano,
Aye.
Ms. Cunha,
Aye.
and Ms. Dombrowski.
Aye.
Do I hear a motion to adopt the code of conduct for the school board, or should it be read first? Is there a motion to read the code of conduct for the school board?
I move that the school board code of conduct be read.
Is there a second?
Second.
Helena, please, I'm sorry, Joanna, please poll the board.
Mr. Reimer,
Aye.
Mr. Vaught,
Yes.
Mr. Pagano,
Aye.
Ms. Cunha,
Aye.
Ms. Dombrowski.
Aye.
Could you please read the school code of conduct for us?
Okay. Let me get to the right one. You're doing the board code of conduct.
Correct.
Yes.
As a member of my local school board, I will strive to be an advocate for students and to improve public education. And to that end, I will have integrity in all matters and support the full development of all children and the welfare of the community, Commonwealth, and nation. I will attend scheduled board meetings. I will come to board meetings informed concerning the issues under consideration. I will make policy decisions based on the available facts and appropriate public input in the best interest of the students of Newton County. I will delegate authority for the administration of the schools to the superintendent and establish a process for accountability of administrators. I will encourage individual board member expression of opinion and establish an open, two-way communication process with all segments of the community. I will communicate in accordance with board policies, public reaction, and opinion regarding board policies and school programs to the full board and superintendent. I will bring about desired changes to legal and ethical procedures, upholding and enforcing all laws, state regulations, and court orders pertaining to schools. I will refrain from using the board position for personal or partisan gain and avoid any conflict of interest or the appearance of impropriety. I will respect the confidentiality of privileged information and make no individual decisions or commitments that might compromise the board or administration. I will be informed about current educational issues through individual study and participation in appropriate programs, such as those sponsored by my state and national school boards associations. I will always remember that the foremost concern of the board is to improve and enhance the teaching and learning experience for all students in the public schools of Virginia. Therefore, I will strive to demonstrate appropriate behavior, conduct as a public school board member.
Thank you, Joanna. Do I hear a motion to adopt this code of conduct?
I move to adopt.
Is there a second?
Second?
Joanna, would you please poll the board?
Yes, sir. Mr. Reimer,
Aye.
Mr. Vaught,
Aye.
Mr. Pagano,
Aye.
Ms. Cunha,
Aye.
Ms. Dombrowski.
Aye.
So moved. Board members, by now you've had the opportunity to review the items listed on the consent agenda.
I'm sorry, Mr.
You
Reimer.
need
Oh.
to do the clerk's code of conduct.
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's
I
okay.
missed the code of conduct.
We have two on there, so.
Joanna, would you like to read the clerk's code of conduct, please?
Bigger screen.
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. As clerk of my local school board, I will strive to be an advocate for students and improve public education, and to that end, I will have integrity in all matters and support the full development of all children and the welfare of the community, Commonwealth, and nation. I will keep a correct and proper record of all the proceedings of the board and shall prepare such reports and keep such accounts as are required by the Code of Virginia. I will notify the Virginia School Board Association of the names of newly elected or appointed school board members in a timely manner. I will come to board meetings informed concerning the issues under consideration. I will communicate in accordance with school board policies, public reaction, and opinion regarding board policies and school programs to the school board and superintendent. I will refrain from using the clerk position for personal or partisan gain and avoid any conflict of interest or the appearance of any impropriety. I will respect the confidentiality of privileged information and make no individual decisions or commitments that might compromise the school division. I will be informed about current educational issues through individual study and participation in appropriate programs, such as those sponsored by my state school board associations. I will always remember that the foremost concern of the school division is to improve and enhance the teaching and learning experience for all students in the public schools of Virginia. Therefore, I will always strive to demonstrate appropriate behavior and conduct as a school board clerk.
Thank you. Is there a motion to accept this code of conduct?
So moved.
Second.
Joanna, please poll.
Mr. Reimer,
Aye.
Mr. Vaught,
Aye.
Mr. Pagano,
Aye.
Ms. Cunha, and Ms. Dombrowski.
Aye.
So moved. Next item on the agenda. Dr. Nichols, will you please talk to us about Virginia School Principals Appreciation?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Reimer. January 15th through the 21st is Principals Appreciation Week. There's also a larger national celebration, I believe April, May. So you may see this again in the year. We do want to say thank you to our principals and assistant principals for the work they do. So we have them on the screen for you to see, including our newest assistant principal, Ms. Parson at New Kent Elementary. So we appreciate the work that our principals do. We couldn't do this work without them. Ms. Pilger is in the audience as a principal of Quinton, so I'll call her out since she's sitting there. Just really tireless efforts to continue to move us forward. So thank you, Mr. Reimer.
Okay, moving on. The consent agenda. By now, you've had the opportunity to review the items listed on the consent agenda, including minutes from the previous meeting, monthly bills and payroll, and the superintendent's recommendations regarding personnel and student matters. Do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second?
I second.
Joanna, please poll the board.
Mr. Reimer,
Aye.
Mr. Vaught,
Aye.
Mr. Pagano,
Aye.
Ms. Cunha, Ms. Dombrowski. Aye.
So moved. Let's go on to new business.
Sir.
We need to work out the meeting calendar and the meeting times. Do we have we have some.
Yes, sir. Mr. Reimer, board members, what you'll see on the screen is the proposed 2024 Kent School Board dates. I'll make note of a couple things. The venue will almost always be the administration boardroom at New Kent County. Sets up as a little, the seats are definitely better in the audience, I can tell you that. But we have those pieces. I do want to note, board members, that we are proposing a time change. So instead of the 5:30 start that we currently do, it would be a 6:30 start. So closed session would go from 5 o'clock to 5:30, and would be 5:30 to 6:30 with the regular session starting at 5:30. You always have, I'm sorry, 6:30. You always have the authority to add additional meetings as we work through the year, especially the budget session. But this is what we have for you at this time. Just a little bit of historical note, we changed the timing that we do the calendar so that we did it alongside the board of supervisors. We used to adopt July to July, and we find ourselves in these conflicts. So we've done this in conjunction with the board of supervisors, which I'd like to say there'll be no conflicts, but there absolutely will be at some point if one of us changes a day. So, but we've done the best of our abilities at this moment in time This does come before you for vote later, but be happy to answer any questions you may have, sir.
So any meeting times will be posted a day before with the agenda,
So the agenda posts 5 days before.
5 days.
I'll defer to the clerk. With a Monday meeting, they are posted Wednesday. And most, if not all, presentations are also posted on Wednesday. That's what we strive to do. There may be an exception to that along the way, but the agenda, location, time will all be posted at a time.
Okay.
May I ask how work sessions will be included and the public is informed about those work sessions?
Same way, absolutely same way. So right now we have one on the agenda, and that would be a budget-focused work session. But if we added another one at any time, or if the board added a retreat at any point in time, it would follow the same process. The only time you would not follow that process is if it is an emergency meeting for some reason, and then we follow the emergency guidelines.
So is there a motion that we approve this?
You'll do
Not
that
yet.
during the
Yeah.
action.
Oh,
You'll do all that.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Next item is the appointment of school board members to the various committees and external boards.
All right, so glad to see you once again. So we're pulling that up. Board members, as you're aware in public, our board members serve on various committees and regional school boards and other entities. So what we have on there is a listing of those organizations and the proposed board representative for each, and just additional information when the meetings are, where it is, and any links associated with it. So it includes our 4 major regional programs, Bridging Communities, Chesapeake Bay, Code RVA, and Maggie Walker Governor's School. So board members, you've had a chance to review this. Be happy to answer any questions or make any adjustments as you see fit.
Any questions or adjustments? Okay.
This will also come before you for action in the action item section.
Let's move to item C, which is the preschool curriculum adoption first read.
Yes, sir. And Ms. Emily Raper and Ms. Kim Lawler will be coming up to provide that over for you. Board members, this is a first read with a proposed second read in February. Both of the next presentations are set up that way. So I'll defer to our presenters.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board, and Dr. Nichols. I am Kim Lawler. I am the supervisor of elementary curriculum and instruction.
And I'm Emily Raper, the instructional supervisor of special education for pre-K through 5th grade.
So before we jump in, just a little bit of background information. Currently, we have 6 preschool classrooms. We have 3 at New Kent Elementary, and we have 3 at Clinton. We are hoping to expand to George Watkins so that we can provide more preschool opportunities for our students. Just a little bit of background information before we jump in. But the reason why we're here is next school year, we have to adopt a curriculum that has been approved by the VDOE. Curriculums were submitted and they went through a vetting process, and then the VDOE released that list. So why not what we currently have? We thought you guys might be interested in that information as well. We currently use Stream 3. It is a free VDOE approved curriculum. It has been used for 2 years. However, our teachers at the beginning of this school year asked that we look at the full list of curriculums because they did not feel like Streaming 3 was meeting our needs. So when asked why not, they shared with us that it lacks the built-in review that is necessary for our learners. It appears pieced together, meaning that they're searching all around to put a lesson together. It's lacking time-appropriate themes. There's minimal alignment with the state assessments they give. They give the PALS and the VKRP. And many materials are in different places or not even included. So they're having to go out on their own to find that. So we began the adoption process.
And that adoption process started with us reaching out to get sample materials from both Get Set for School and Frog Street. After that, we reviewed those materials to review the alignment with the early learning and development standards, which are those ELDs, and then also the class observations, which is the state mandated observations that we do. And then after that, once our team, the early learning teachers and the division team was able to review those materials, we received demos from both Frog Street and Get Set for School so they could present those curriculums to us, the early learning teachers and then both of us. So then the feedback that we received from reviewing those curriculums when it was out for feedback was much more positive than it was negative. The community liked that it covered all of the domains, that parent materials were readily available, it was easy to follow for teachers, there's a holistic focus, 5 breathing strategies are taught throughout, and that it advocates for both parent and family involvement. The dislikes were not really verbalized, but more questions to ask for us to consider while reviewing. So then when we are thinking about Frog Street, some key things that we were considering was the alignment, that it is completely aligned with both those standards and the observations that we do, that is state mandated. Also, there's morning meeting lessons and conscious discipline is integrated within. Family connections, so resources can be sent weekly to families, and that's already pre-designed within the curriculum. The digital component has assessments, lesson plans, and songs all available online for teachers to use. The differentiation is already built in within each lesson. And then for the academics, it has science of reading aligned and literacy, math, and STEAM stations already included that is pre-designed for you within the curriculum. So for implementation, when we're thinking about that, for March, we're planning a half-day PD to prepare, organize, and schedule for this upcoming curriculum. In August, we want to plan a half-day PD to plan for the start of school. And then Frog Street also offers ongoing fidelity coaching that is to provide real-time feedback from the actual company.
Great, so when we talk about adoption costs, you can see that it is broken down so that it is inclusive of everything that the teachers need. Unlike Stream and 3, they're not going to have to hunt around or piece things together. What this price gets us is a kit of the preschool program for each of our classes, all of the materials and the digital resources included. But it also, this quote includes a 3-year-old curriculum for both of our buildings. We wanted to do that so that our teachers, should they need a greater level of differentiation, they have that available to them. So that is in total what the approximately $35. So our next steps as New Kent County is, obviously we're here before you today for the first read. We will come back again in February. Our hope is that pending adoption in February, we go ahead and submit that purchase order so that we can have it in the teacher's hands by late winter, early spring to align with the at-home learning PD. I think we all understand that we learn better when we have it in our hands and can see it. And then that professional development will continue. But getting our teachers that head start to begin unpacking the curriculum before they have their next group of students is important. If you have not had the chance to see it and you would like that opportunity, by all means, we are happy to make sure it's available for you. If you haven't had that opportunity, that's what you have. Are there any questions we can answer?
Have you had any community feedback or?
Yes. Sean, do you mind going back to that slide? Okay.
Keep going.
5 of 10.
Right there. All of these were direct quotes from when it was presented to the community.
So it satisfies the 3 issues that you had with Stream and 3, the lack of built-in reviews, the fragmentation, and I'm assuming, but I don't want to do that, that it aligns properly with the state mandates.
Yes.
All that's been taken care of with it. Okay.
Yes, and it comes with very helpful documents for our teachers to show that alignment.
Okay.
So if they open up to any lesson, they can look at the alignment documents to see where it aligns to everything that we expect as a state.
Thank you.
As far as the assessments, you say that they are available online for the instructors. How are those assessments carried out with children? Is it mainly, how are they carried out?
Hands-on and a lot of verbal.
So a lot of this at this age is observation. So it's more observation what the student can do.
In regards to the cost, does that cover the full curriculum for 1 year? Was there additional buy-ins that need to be
No,
addressed?
that covers us. That covers us, for as long as we use the curriculum. Yeah.
So it's a yearly, is that a yearly cost?
No, one time,
One time.
one time.
Is that a competitive price with regard to the other curriculum that you looked at?
Yeah, so we looked at, Get Set for School was the other top choice, both by ourselves and by the teachers. And one thing Frog Street does really well is it has everything already together, where some of the other curriculums, we were buying different pieces to put it together, which wasn't as cost effective.
Do you know if there are future renditions or updates to that program, if they're included, or is that something you pay for as you go?
For Frog Street, I do not know, but we can find out and come back to in February.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question, because it'd be nice if the platform was there, and we just continue to build upon that instead of having to scrap the whole thing and start over again.
And I noticed that a lot of the pieces in the curriculum were manipulative, right?
Yes.
So do they have replacement costs and all that for that? The loss or, yeah.
Would you be able to provide some examples of the assessments?
Absolutely.
Great.
Any other questions?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So they'll be back before you in February, and provide those updates.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is a K-5 literacy curriculum. Adoption. Oh, I'm sorry. Adoption.
So, Ms. Lawler is back with us for that. I do appreciate she did the duck back and forth. So we have our two instructional coaches, both Jen Scott and Megan Southward, who've been integral in leading this effort. So they will provide an update for you on where we are with Virginia Literacy Act.
Okay, so good evening again, Chairman, members of the school board, and Dr. Nichols. I am joined this time by Megan Southward and Jen Scott, our instructional coaches that work at all three of our buildings. We are here tonight to talk about the Virginia Literacy Act and the K-5 literacy curriculum adoption. So to give you some background information, with the passage of the Virginia Literacy Act, which VLA is what you'll hear a lot of people say, in 2022, by the start of next school year, we must have adopted an approved curriculum from a list of 10 for our core instruction. These have been reviewed by the VDOE. They have to be based in evidence and scientifically based research. New Kent will be adopting a curriculum K-5 because we want to have increased consistency between all of our grade levels and not just stop necessarily at 3rd grade.
Hi. So before the adoption process began, we created 2 different teams, and you'll hear these teams referenced in the future slides. The first team was the district team, and then that consisted of the 3 of us. The second team was the curriculum team, and this team had over 20 members. It was the 3 of us, a teacher, 1 teacher from each grade, kindergarten through 5th, the 6 reading specialists from each of the 3 schools, a special education teacher, 1 per school, so 3 in total, and then administration from each of the schools. When the adoption process began, we requested samples of each curriculum, and then the 3 of us went through them as a division team. We narrowed it down to 4 choices. The curriculum team then reviewed sample materials. We looked at SOL alignment, we looked at ed reports and other supplemental documentation to kind of go through them. The curriculum team heard demos from 4 curriculums, and so those were Benchmark Advanced, HMH Into Reading Virginia, Bookworms, and Core Knowledge Language Arts. The second part of the adoption process began, and a small group of the curriculum team visited 2 elementary schools who had each of these curriculums in action. They were using them in their schools. Those were in Arlington and Colonial Beach. And there we saw our top 2 choices. Those top 2 choices were then put on display in schools, that teachers had the opportunity to view them, look through them, and then provide their own feedback. HMH into Reading Virginia was then selected to be New Kent's top choice out of a school visit and the teachers' feedback. And then that was put on to display for the community to come and see during the weeks of December 11th through January 7th.
So I'm here to explain why we thought HMH was the best fit for New Kent County. This came from the teachers. So first, it was aligned with the Virginia SOL as well as the Virginia Literacy Act. Our teachers believe that this gave students a ton of hands-on experience with literature and text daily. When they were looking through the teacher manuals, they felt that the layout was really easy to implement and they would be able to implement it with ease in their classrooms. There's a ton of graphic organizers, there's small group activities, there's digital resources. There was plenty of different resources for teachers to choose from. They thought there was a variety of texts that would resonate and represent all students in our population. And at the end, there are assessments for each unit that were very easy to unpack, and you could pull data and use the data wisely after unpacking it. So like Jen said, the community was able to look at the curriculum and the input from them. They thought it was authentic, there was multi-genre text available, and in each module, there was a lot of different chapter books for the older grades. There was a variety of topics, and that included diversity, and they thought it was a curriculum they wanted their children to be exposed to. It was well structured and easy to follow. The ESL and Tier 3 suggestions were abundant, so it would be able to meet the needs of all different levels of students. There are consumable reading text that students are able to annotate right while they're using the text in the curriculum. And the suggested books were very engaging. There were a variety of topics and experiences for children. So pending adoption, the implementation process, the PD that we would like to be able to see happen, like the preschool on March 11th at that at-home learning day, we would be able to have a half-day initial PD with actual HMH consultants called Getting Started. So they would be able to come in and our teachers would be able to get their hands on these things with a consultant. And then March through August, there's an online course called Getting Ready that teachers could go through and look at self-paced. And what we really liked about HMH was it's ongoing. So you have access to coaches through their company and online PLCs that are targeted and in real time as well.
Okay, now to talk about the 3-year cost, we're looking at doing a 3-year adoption. It would be just over $323,000. But I want to bring note to this includes the professional development that Megan has spoke of. It includes all teacher materials, the guides, the digital resources, and the student consumables for all 3 years. So this is a 3-year cost. There's not going to be something we need to add next year to get the student consumables again or the digital resources. Okay. So our next steps as a division is same as when we talked in preschool, is return in February for a second read and to follow up on any questions that you guys may have. Again, submit that purchase order in February because same as preschool, getting it in our teachers' hands while they have an opportunity to just experiment and to see what is included allows for there to be times before we're fully implementing. So we'll use that time from March through June. Our coaches will also have the opportunity to work with reading specialists and buildings to make sure that we are fully ready for implementation on start of school next year.
Board members, I do want to circle back to the cost slide, so Shannon, you can back up one for me. So keep in mind that it's K-5, all preschools, all teachers. Also, with the governor's all-in money, part of that was dedicated towards purchasing these materials. So Ross, I have 140,000 in my head.
I think it was a little higher than that.
Okay, so we received, and I'll get you the exact total, so through those all-in grant funds, we received a significant portion of that to pay specifically for text. The other portion will come from our textbook funds that we received from the state, so well within the budget piece related to that, and well within other programs. So just wanted to throw that piece out in terms of the all-in plan and how it intersects.
So what questions can we answer?
So I have a question that parlays off of Dr. Nichols' comments. When you guys are, ladies, sorry, are referencing student consumables and books, are we talking about actual physical materials that students have in their hand, digital Chromebook, or both?
Both.
Both.
So every text that the teacher is reading, the students will have in their hands, and it is their copy to keep. So they can write in it, highlight, question, anything like that, which we also love because it means more books are going home to their families as well. But they do also have access to it online as well with their Chromebooks or tablets, which is a great feature for our special education population as well, because there are features such as read aloud on there, which mirrors some IEPs.
So speaking of read aloud, is there an emphasis on students reading aloud?
Yes, so we love in New Kent doing shared reading. And that is the method of where we have text in students' hands as much as possible. And so they are reading at the same time as the teacher or their partner reading, anytime that we can get it in their hands to practice rather than just one teacher reading.
And Keith, I saw these books, and some of them I would have bought my daughter at that age.
Great.
Is that reading and partner reading mainly done with that actual text, or is it done in the Chromebook?
It would be actual text, Yep.
The consumables had, like, large margins where when we were able to watch this in Colonial Beach, students were learning how to annotate, and then they were also learning how to just use the consumable and take notes within the consumable. And then at the end of the module, they would be able to take that text they annotated and read with their teacher in their class, and they were able to take it home and share with their parents.
And the next reading, I'd be very interested on seeing the efficacy metrics that are associated with this curriculum.
Tell me a little bit about the community input process.
So we have samples of every grade level from HMH that was set up at our office, K-5, with any materials that came with. It was put out to the community via social media and the New Kent County website, and then people could sign up to come in, and then they were in a private space where they could look at each and give feedback via Google form.
Kim, Ms. Lower, just to connect to that question and provide some clarification. Board members, with the changing of the board in January and this process being somewhat down the road, we'd be happy to, I say that without knowing where the materials are.
It's hard, it's still set up.
We'd be happy to set that up and push out more and invite you guys to come see it too.
Yeah, because that's a 3-year commitment. I don't like that to begin with, the way things change so quickly, but also that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I would feel more comfortable knowing more about it.
Yeah.
If we're gonna make that kind of commitment. That's a big commitment.
It's still 100% set up, so we would welcome you.
I do have
Yeah.
a question. What made you decide on a 3-year commitment versus 2 or 4 or 5?
So I think when we thought about that, obviously 1 year isn't going to tell us a lot as far as data goes. Was it successful, was it not? You're going to need several years. But we also want to make sure that it's the right fit for New Kent. So I think it's important to, after several years, to relook at it. Is this the best fit for us? Is our data showing growth?
Board members, just set a point of clarification. So it's not 140,000. I'm glad to be wrong on this one. It's $185,336.20 that we received from the all-in spending plan. So roughly half of it is part of that grant.
Was there
one-time funds.
Were there other options in terms of length of commitment?
Yes, absolutely. And I can bring that information if that would be beneficial. Absolutely. Any other questions?
I don't think so. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate your hard work.
Okay, the last item on the agenda, the new business agenda, is the model policies on ensuring privacy, dignity, and respect for all students and parents in Virginia's public schools. This is Governor Youngkin's model policy. We have a,
Yes, sir, so we have it on the screen for you guys, it's fairly lengthy. I mean, you can ask Ms. Davis to read it. Just kidding.
I'll hold them down.
But, board members, you've had an opportunity to review the model policies as set forth by the governor. We linked it with board docs just so you had the whole piece related to it. So I'd be happy to answer any of the specific questions you may have, but.
and this is available on the Virginia website.
Yes, sir. Yep, publicly facing.
Just a comment for the record and for the public, the Attorney General of the Commonwealth of Virginia issued a legal advisory opinion that whether a school board actually adopts this or not, the school board must comply with it. It is currently the law in the Commonwealth. Some Northern Virginia schools are not doing that and pushing back. That opens them up to litigation, of course. Majority of the school districts, in my understanding, in the Commonwealth have adopted.
Yeah.
And they really have no choice.
And Mr. Pagano, to your point, thank you for that piece. We are in compliance from a practical standpoint. So just so the public is aware, it doesn't require us to change our daily practices related to it. So,
But as a board, we want to be clear about this.
yes, sir. I just wanted to add that articulation piece.
Okay.
That does come before you for adoption as well. Sorry, Mr. Brown, I was trying to throw that in there.
Thank you. So we have no old business listed.
No, sir.
Do we have any citizen comments? Okay, first up, Eve Alfonso. And please try to limit the treatment.
Mr. Runner, there is a piece on your sheet for you to read.
Oh, thank you. Very So when the timer sounds, that's the time for you to finish. And we're not, we don't usually make remarks immediately after.
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank you and welcome the new school board members, as well as Dr. Nichols, and this opportunity to speak to you.
Thank you.
I've been actively involved in the schools for over 14 years now. I feel that I'm one of the school's biggest supporters in front and behind the scenes. I try to be a positive and encouraging voice. I make every effort to handle issues discreetly and at the lowest level possible. I enjoy being part of the parent-teacher-student organizations over the many years, creating the best environment for families in our schools. I love the teacher appreciation events, the student events, the scholarship opportunities, and other teacher-student efforts we're able to provide. I happily use my work vacation time to volunteer for the school. I try to make sure to take the time to express my gratitude in writing and in person to the teachers and staff that make a difference to our children and families. I feel deeply about the importance of compassion, honesty, communication, and feeling heard as part of a community. Sometimes feeling heard and being more than a member means the most. I have 3 concerns that I would like to bring forward to discuss. One is the multiple locations of assignments causing much confusion among students and parents. In the past, all assignments were listed in Schoology, even if completed in other platforms, allowing visibility of all assignments in one location. The second is the lack of opportunity to meet teachers at the high school. Previously, we had parent and student opportunities to meet the teachers at back-to-school night and open house and other welcoming events, which no longer is available at the high school. And lastly, the application of discipline at the high school. I know I've brought this issue up before, but feel this is a great opportunity to bring it again. Due to time, I will focus on what I feel is extreme and inconsistent issuance of disciplinary decisions, along with lack of transparency. It feels like those students that don't fall into a protected classification get extreme disciplinary penalties while others get the consideration that unprotected students deserve. I know the administration's position is difficult. I realize to create the environment needed requires time, effort, compassion, and resources our schools don't have. And I'd like to finish up by saying, my family and I continue to be a passionate and dedicated supporter to New Kent schools, the administration, communities, and our families. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next is J.D. Benson.
Crossed me up tonight. I was in the parking lot, 3 cars there, it was 10 minutes before we started the meeting. I thought, there's something terribly wrong. Mr. Chair, distinguished members of the board, Dr. Nichols, hardworking staff, J.B. Benson, District 5. I didn't listen real closely to the code of conduct for the board, but did it say anything about the shameless display of logoed paraphernalia? We may break the rules for our time.
SRO just looked in.
So I want to express my appreciation and admiration for each of you who step forward to serve your community. I don't think there's any higher calling than the education of our youth. The school board is not a ceremonial body. The quality of instruction of our students are now in your hands. You assure New Kent that you will be actively engaged, transparent, responsive, and I have faith that you will be just that. I urge you to identify student achievement metrics that will allow all of us to see the impact of your leadership. I have every confidence that your collaboration with New Kent's administration and teachers will result in a school system filled with your pride and admiration. Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes the citizen comments.
Can you take one more comment? They take up the sign-up sheet before everybody can get in the room.
You can take one more comment.
Sure. Thank you. Appreciate that so much.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Sorry if that happened.
Thank you.
And your name, please?
Leslie Trivett, District 2. Congratulations, new and returning school board members. So happy that we have a fresh start, and I know everybody's working very hard already. Victorious Roman generals returning home from battle were paraded through the streets of Rome on chariots. Standing behind them was a servant whispering, "Memento homo," remember, you are only a man. Or "Memento mori," remember, you will die. What it means is, don't let it go to your head. With the high compensation package for school board members, and the extensive benefit package, I don't think that's going to be a problem for you all. And why I really know it's not a problem for you all is I have seen many of you, and hope to see many more of you, have the opportunity to see many more of you, acting as servant leaders even before you came onto the board. Want to remind you that there are lots of citizens out here who are ready to help you, so please ask for help. It's okay to say, I don't know, but I'll look into it and get back to you. That's a very respectable way to interact with the citizens, and we are here to support you. The parents and students and employees of New Kent Public Schools are depending on you to do a great job, but you can't do it alone, so please call on the community to have your backs. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bravo.
Okay. Any more last minute comments? Okay. We're going to move on to action items. So, approval of the 2024 school board meeting calendar and meeting time. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Joanna, could you please poll us?
Mr. Reimer?
Aye.
Mr. Vaught?
Aye.
Mr. Pagano?
Aye.
Mrs. Kuna? Aye. Ms. Dombrowski? Aye.
So moved. The approval of the school board members' appointments to various committees and external boards. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
On.
Second.
Joanna, could I have you poll us?
Mr. Reimer?
Aye.
Mr. Vaught?
Aye.
Mr. Pagano?
Aye.
Ms. Cunha? Aye. Ms. Dombrowski? Aye.
So moved. And the last item on the action items, the adoption of the model policies on ensuring privacy, dignity, and respect for all students and parents in Virginia Public Schools. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Joanna?
Mr. Reimer?
Aye.
Mr. Vaught?
Yes.
Mr. Pagano?
Aye.
Ms. Cunha? Yes. Ms. Dombrowski? Aye.
Thank you. Anybody on this committee need to speak?
I do have one comment, please.
Oh, really? Go for it.
On behalf of this board, I would like to apologize to Mr. John Poindexter for the defaming remarks. Mr. Poindexter is in fact a decorated veteran who has served our country, and his contributions to all campaigns was minuscule, and the election was successful due to hard work and the citizens' choice, not the dollar. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I have comments.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to go last, just to give a couple educational updates.
Kevin?
I want to thank you all so much for coming. I know that we need everybody involved, and I'm grateful that you're here. I want to say how very humble and honored I am to be here. I'm also very nervous and grateful I have not thrown up.
Me too.
I am very grateful for the confidence that many of you have entrusted in me and all of us to represent you on this school board. My favorite part of campaigning was going door to door and having great conversations with so many of you. I value those conversations. I have taken notes, lots of notes, and look forward to trying to address those concerns, and appreciate your patience as we work through them. I know that I will make plenty of mistakes in the process, but I am very excited and anxious to get started. Second, I did want to respond to Ms. Alfonso's comments. Thank you for sharing those publicly. And as I became aware of a certain incident at the high school on Friday, I've been giving some thought to disciplinary measures and how we're going to address this. One of the two things that we need to address is prevention. These events are occurring far too rapidly, or too much. I believe we need to do a better job in determining what is causing them and what is contributing to these events so that we can prevent them from happening again. Second is our response. There's always room for improvement. What do we need to do to reassess and respond more in better ways? And I feel that if we don't take action and do something, it's going to get worse. Please know that I'm in the process of trying to set up some type of office hours so that I can meet with you regularly on a face-to-face basis and continue with those conversations that began when I was going door to door. I know we're also pretty much all on board with creating advisory committees so that we can get citizens engaged in helping us to solve some of these issues. So be on the lookout for that. Finally, I'd like to briefly respond to the comments that were made by the outgoing chair at the last school board meeting on December 4th, and to anybody else who shares in those same concerns. But before I do that, let me preface those comments with an experience. The first and only time I've served on jury duty was my first year of college. I took up my whole spring break. I was not very happy about it, but it was one of the most educational experiences I've ever had. After the prosecute, what do you call it?
Defense attorney?
No, the
Prosecuting attorney?
prosecuting attorney, it was a civil case. He brought up his, plaintiff, thank you. He brought up, after he was finished with his remarks, his opening statements, I thought, well, this is a pretty open and shut case. I mean, obviously, these people deserve all the money that they're seeking, case closed. And then the defense attorney got up and made his remarks, and I realized, no wonder this is going to take a week. There's a lot more to it than I initially realized. I've tried to reflect on that experience over and over again and tried to realize that perspectives vary widely based on our understanding and the information that we have at hand. It's important, if we want to get to the truth of a matter, that we give consideration to all those perspectives. I campaign on my intention to elevate education, and I believe that this begins by elevating how we think. And that goes for students and citizens alike. In 1957, Dr. Martin Luther King stated, "Education must enable one to sift and weigh evidence, to discern the true from the false, the real from the unreal, and the facts from the fiction." This was my first time running for public office, and I learned a lot in the process. One thing I learned is that, at least in New Kent, school board positions have been mostly largely uncontested. Sometimes nobody was stepping up to serve in the past. So I can completely understand that many of you were concerned about some of the things that happened during the school board campaigns. It was largely unprecedented. But given everything that has happened in this country over the last 3 years, especially in education, we live in very unprecedented times. Please know that I fully realize that school board members are apolitical positions. My only intention is to strive to be the best possible school board representative I can be for everybody. I know I won't be able to make everybody happy all the time, but I certainly intend to listen and actively work to resolve issues and do everything I can to improve student achievement and outcomes for all students, and to make sure we are providing a safe environment for all staff and students. Public accusations based on assumptions and appearance using alarmist rhetoric, whether in public meetings or on social media, is how we are going to go from New Kent strong to New Kent weak. It's the same rhetoric that is dividing and destroying our country. I hope we will rise and live above it, not only for the sake of our children and our county, but our country. How can we expect our children to refrain from unfair judgment unless we to do so ourselves? If we want our children to learn how to think critically, we've got to set a better example and model how that happens. The book that I'm reading says, student outcomes don't change until adult behaviors do. I know it sounds cheesy or maybe cringe, but hey, New Kent, let's be the change. Thank you. Thank you, Heather.
Here. Yeah. First and foremost, I would like to thank Dr. Nichols and the administration, and I think on behalf of the board, I'm comfortable in saying that they were very open, welcoming, making the transition into this position very easy. So thank you guys for that. I look forward to working with the 4 other board members. I believe that I am sitting at a table with 4 very good intended people, and our focus is to improve the education of all the kids in the New Kent County school systems, of which I have 3. So for me, it's super important, all right? Third, to the teachers, you guys are the front line, so we'd love to hear from you whenever possible. Thank you for your presentation. Keep educating us about what you guys need. It's super important moving forward. And then finally, special thank you to the 3 people who came up and made public comments. That's very hard to do in public. I'm a practicing attorney, so I know I'm standing before a federal judge and my knees are shaking, and I've been doing it for 20-something years. So getting up here and commenting or sharing your concerns and your feelings is a difficult thing to do, so I applaud you each for doing that, and thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out today. I also wanted to thank Dr. Nichols and Joanna and the rest of the staff for working hard to have a smooth transition. It's a learning curve, as you know. We're all new to the board, and so there's a lot to learn. But we, I think, are going to be a great team. I know we're going to be a great team. We have wonderful personalities. We get along. We don't take ourselves too seriously, but we get the job done. We understand the importance of our job, of our responsibilities and duties, and we are going to fulfill them to the best of our abilities. I want to encourage the community, as some of you did tonight, to continue to reach out to us. And we have a policy of open communication. We believe in transparency and personal responsibility and accountability. And so we're here, again, together, New Kent strong, to make sure that our students get the best education. And with that, we need your help as well. I've always believed that educating children is a shared responsibility. It's one that we all must be a part of, and we all have something to contribute to that success of children. And so I encourage you to continue to come out, to share your concerns, to share suggestions, and also to volunteer. If you have it in your heart to do something for the school system, maybe you want to be a mentor, maybe you want to be a coach, or serve in some capacity, reach out to the administration or to your local school and get involved. I know, for example, even if you want to donate to the pantry, the food pantry, or the backpack, school backpack program, there are always opportunities for you to serve or to help out. And we are a community, we love New Kent, and so let's work together to continue to make New Kent schools the best they possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you all. Superintendent?
I'll go. Thank you. I want the chair to close, not me. So thank you all for being here. Happy New Year. I also want to say thank you to the board. We threw a lot at them from November election day to, they didn't start January 1, they started November, whatever the day after. We got on bus tours together, we did orientations together. We really, and they've stepped up every step of the way, so involved. Thank you, board, for spending so much time with us. I do want to say that we are watching the weather very closely for tomorrow. Right now, I just got another update from emergency management, and it looks like we will be able to be in school for the whole session, and then after school activities will be canceled. That's a little bit of a change from the earlier read. So we're watching this as we go through. Right now, we feel confident in the sustained winds versus the gusts in our implementation, but we will watch it through the night, unfortunately, and have an update if we need one. But so after school activities will be canceled tomorrow. I do want to say congratulations to our Teachers of the Year.
Yes.
We have named them, we're excited about them, and it's a who's who of amazingness. And I'll give them to you real quick, and we'll celebrate, and they'll be here at the board meeting in February. So we have Lori Hill at New Kent Elementary School, Rita Urema at George Watkins Elementary School, Lauren Burkhead, pre-K extraordinaire, you're speaking tonight, at Quinton Elementary School, Catherine Cedarholm at New Kent Middle School, outstanding pig. And I said in my video this morning, I know everything I know about ceramics because of Susan Musselman, unbelievable teacher at New Kent High School. So we have phenomenal people, and we'll do some amazing work this year. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
And I would just like to thank the board, the community, the administration, and the teachers. This is our school, we're gonna make it better. And I'd like to say Simplify to Russ and fun at Pembroke.
Just to add context, Ross and I are leaving this meeting, and we will be in Paris Island for a week with the Marines, with a behind-the-scenes experience, all hands on deck, about the educational opportunities in the Marines as we continue to expand. So just to add some context to it.
That's part of the training.
I'm too old to enlist, I already checked. But we're incredibly excited about being with the Marines this year.
That's part of
Yes, that's why I got my haircut. But we'll be there for Family Day, and then we'll be there for graduation on Friday, so we'll see the pieces of the whole process. So, yes, Simplify, thank you, sir.
So I'd like to note that the next meeting will be at 6:30. And that will be in the New Kent County Administration Boardroom, Building Boardroom, and that will be on February